What's happening with Lamine Yamal right now might just be one of the biggest warning signs we've seen in modern football. Imagine this, a 17-year-old wonder kid, already hailed as the next Lionel Messi, now caught in the middle of a tug-of-war between Barcelona and Spain, with both sides accused of pushing his young body to the limit. Is Yamal's rise to superstardom turning into a story of overwork, burnout, and bad management? Stay tuned, because this story is bigger than just one player. It's about how football is treating its brightest talents. Today, we dive deep into the Lamine Yamal Burnout controversy, the escalating Barcelona versus Spain conflict, and what it means for the future of one of football's youngest and most talented stars. Let's get straight into it. When Gary Lineker, one of football's most respected voices, compared Lamine Yamal to Lionel Messi, fans around the world knew something special was happening. On his Stick to Football podcast, Lineker was glowing with praise. Just watching him, he makes it look so easy to beat a player. He goes past them almost as if they're invisible. But then came the warning, the kind that every young prodigy should fear. Lineker added, "It worries me slightly that they might burn him out." And now, just months later, that exact fear has become a real concern. Yamal, who made his Barcelona debut at just 15 years old, has already played over 100 games for the club before even turning 18. Let that sink in. A player who's technically still a teenager has already carried the workload of a seasoned professional. That's more than what even Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo had done at that age. The result? The football world is now seeing the downside of rapid success. Fatigue, muscle discomfort, groin problems, ankle injuries, all piling up before he's even reached adulthood. The issue exploded when Hansi Flick, Barcelona's current manager, publicly criticized Luis de la Fuente and the Spanish national team. According to Flick, Spain forced Yamal to play despite already carrying pain. Flick fumed. He went to the national team with pain and did not train. They gave him painkillers to play. That's not taking care of the player. Think about that. A 17-year-old reportedly given painkillers just to get through matches that Spain was already winning comfortably. Matches where he could have been rested. It's not just bad management. It's a ticking time bomb for the young winger's career. Now, Flick's words didn't go down well in Madrid. Luis de la Fuente, Spain's coach, clapped back, saying there was no conflict and that Yamal's pain was normal and controllable. He insisted Yamal didn't report any major issue before the games. But here's the thing. Both coaches can't be right. Somewhere in between those two statements lies the truth. And that truth could determine how long Lamine Yamal's brilliance lasts. Let's rewind a bit. Yamal's rise has been nothing short of phenomenal. When he first appeared for Barcelona in April 2023 against Real Betis, he was only 15 years, 9 months, and 16 days old. By the start of the next season, he wasn't just a squad player, he was a regular starter. He played in almost every La Liga and Champions League match, dazzling fans with his speed, creativity, and technical mastery. Then came Euro 2024, where he played a massive role in helping Spain win the tournament at just 16 years old. Remember that? The braces, the smile, the dribbles. The kid was rewriting history while still studying for his school exams in Germany. The hype train was unstoppable. Pundits were calling him the best teenager since Pelé. But football history has a cruel habit of repeating itself. Players like Pedri, Gavi, Ansu Fati, even Jude Bellingham have all suffered from extreme workloads before their bodies were ready. Pedri once played 73 games in a single season. Gavi's injuries have already started mounting. And Fati's story? Once billed as the new Messi, now struggling to stay fit after years of injury setbacks. Now, Yamal looks dangerously close to that same path. Let's talk numbers. The FIFPro player workload report for 2025 revealed that Yamal had played almost 2,000 more minutes than Bellingham had by the same age. That's insane. Even the most durable players can't sustain that without risk. When you realize that Messi didn't hit 50 games in a season until he was nearly 22, you understand how much faster this generation is being pushed. Yamal's body, still developing, is being asked to perform at the level of an elite adult athlete, week in, week out, for both Barcelona and Spain. And as much as we love to see him dribble past defenders like they're invisible, you can't ignore what's happening behind the scenes. Painkillers, muscle fatigue, and forced minutes. Even Yamal himself tried to downplay it a few months ago. Speaking to ESPN, he said, "I think one thing I have learned this year is how to manage myself. There are moments when you don't have to run all the time. You have to know how to manage yourself during games and training." That's a remarkably mature statement for someone so young. But it also hints that Yamal knows what's coming. He's learning to conserve energy not just for tactical reasons, but for survival. Still, that awareness won't mean much if both Barca and Spain keep fighting over him. The latest injury, a groin issue aggravated during Barcelona's Champions League clash with PSG, has ruled him out for several weeks. Flick admitted he couldn't even say if Yamal would be fit for El Clasico later this month. That's how uncertain the situation has become. Flick said, "With this kind of injury, it's not easy to know when he will return. We have to go step by step." And honestly, that's the right attitude. Because what's at stake here isn't just Barca's season, it's Lamine Yamal's entire career trajectory. So who's really to blame? Is it Barcelona for relying too heavily on a teenager to fix their problems? Or is it Spain for prioritizing short-term international results over player welfare? The truth might be both. Barcelona are desperate for results after turbulent years, and Yamal's magic gives them hope. Meanwhile, Spain see him as the future of their national project, a golden generation player who can carry La Roja back to world dominance. But in chasing that, both sides risk doing what no football fan wants to see, burning out a once-in-a-generation talent before he even reaches his prime. And the football world is watching closely. Because if Yamal's body breaks down like Fadi's did, the blame won't just fall on one coach, it'll fall on the entire football system. It's encouraging, though, that Flick has started changing his tone. In his most recent press conference, he said, "Now, the important thing is managing this together. The player, the clubs, and the Spanish Federation, we have to handle it together." That's exactly what's needed. Cooperation, not confrontation. Because when you have a player this special, a player who's already breaking records and redefining what's possible at his age, the only priority should be longevity. Football doesn't need another broken prodigy. It needs a healthy, confident, and protected Lamine Yamal who can thrill fans for the next 15 years. Because, make no mistake, this kid is special. We're talking about someone who can change games on his own, glide past seasoned defenders, and produce moments of magic that remind us why we fell in love with football in the first place. But talent alone isn't enough. Longevity is what separates legends from what-ifs. So what happens next? Yamal is expected to sit out a few weeks to recover from his latest setback, and both Barcelona and Spain have promised to be more cautious. But whether they stick to that remains to be seen. The next few months will be crucial in determining whether this prodigy becomes the next Messi or ends up as another tragic case of football burnout. And for the fans, for us, it's a moment to reflect. Do we demand too much too soon from young players? Do clubs push them because of commercial pressures and expectations? Football is faster, more intense, and more relentless than ever. The schedule is brutal, and players are being asked to perform at peak levels nearly year-round. It's time football as an industry starts asking itself what it's sacrificing in the process. Because when the brightest stars burn too fast, they don't shine for long. What do you think, Safora football family? Has Lamine Yamal been overplayed by Barcelona and Spain? Who's more at fault here, Flick or De La Fuente? And do you believe Yamal can still live up to the Messi comparisons, or is this the start of a dangerous pattern? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We love hearing your insights. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the Yamal Burnout story, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a story like this. Because here on Safora Football, we don't just report the news, we bring you the stories that matter most in the world of football. And remember, whether you're a Barcelona fan, a Spain supporter, or just a lover of the beautiful game, we all have one thing in common. We want to see talents like Lamine Yamal shine for years to come. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and as always, this is Safora Football, where every story has meaning.